Rivers State Governor Siminalaye Fubara has announced that he would present the 2025 budget to the Victor Oko-Jumbo-led State Assembly. Fubara, who made the revelation at the commissioning of projects in Boni local government area on Saturday, was represented by the Chief of Staff, Rivers State Government House, Edison Ehie, at the event. Ehie partly said, "I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your support to the Rivers State government. As seen in your cooperation, the Speaker has facilitated the screening of caretaker committee chairmen, expedited executive requests, and will soon play a vital role in enacting the 2025 budget." He stressed that the Assembly would stay focused despite opposition from enemies of the state or the 25 former members. Oko-Jumbo revealed that the 2025 budget will soon be presented to the 10th Assembly and confirmed that Boni local government will be included in upcoming infrastructure projects. Very straight to the point there. Chief Jackson, what do you have to say? What do you make of this statement and position by the governor in the presentation of the 2025 budget, considering that 2024 budget is still a matter of litigation?
To me, I want to see this as an executive recklessness because as of today, the budget of 2024 that was presented to Oko-Jumbo-led legislative arms is still in contention. And the Court of Appeal of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has ruled against it, acknowledging the Martins Amewule as the authentic House of Assembly where the budget should be presented to. And I know the matter is in the Supreme Court already. So to me, I would have been expecting the governor of Rivers State to wait for the outcome of the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court uphold the ruling of the Court of Appeal, there is no alternative than for him to present the 2024 budget, and possibly the sin that must have been committed could be forgiven for 2024. But if the 2024 own that was presented to Oko-Jumbo-led Assembly is still in contention up to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal nullified it, stated that it was an illegality, and that has not been cleared, the governor is preparing 2025 budget to be presented to the same Assembly of four? No. In the eye of the law today, Oko-Jumbo, that is, as at the level of the judgment of the Court of Appeal, Oko-Jumbo faction, let me put it that way, is illegal. And everything that must have been done by them is illegal, null and void. So, to me, what we are waiting for now is the ruling of the Supreme Court, which is not just ordinary judgment, is going to be part of the policy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, become a law. So to me, if I have opportunity to advise Sim Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, I would have been advising him to wait and let us see what the Supreme Court will rule. But if he presents this one and the Supreme Court rule in favor of what the Court of Appeal ruled, it becomes a double jeopardy. It's like somebody is building structure of sin upon another sin. No matter how high is the pedestal, it will collapse. So to me, I believe maybe the governor has just said that, but the governor is handlers, the legal handlers. I think definitely they are going to advise him. I don't want to believe that he's going to present it to them. But if he presents it to them eventually, I wish him every best.
Now, when you talked about the governor's handlers and his legal team, and probably they were going to advise him, I mean, this is not a new position that the governor has taken. You recall when the Commissioner for Budget and Planning had a public citing of the Rivers State 2024 budget. That is Prophet Dr. Peter Mide. When he was speaking, he said that it is impossible when he had that public citing of the budget, he said that it was impossible for the state government to represent a budget that has been expended from. And he also talked about the fact that the budget has almost exhausted its lifespan. So why represent a budget that is, almost at its final stages? That was his argument. And he went further to say that anybody expecting the state government to represent the 2024 budget is living in illusion. I'm quoting him. Now, this has been the position of the government, because even after Dr. Peter Mede said that, the Rivers State government did not debunk that statement. And now this statement is also coming from the Chief of Staff, Edison Ehe, and Oko-Jumbo, in collaboration to what Edison Ehe has said, also made promise to Bonny local government that they, of course, they will be included in the budget. So now this is a faction of the Legislative House, and this is the governor speaking. And don't forget, the commissioner has spoken before. Everything is pointing to one thing: the 2025 budget will be presented to Oko-Jumbo-led faction of Rivers State House of Assembly. When you look at all these things critically, what will be the way forward? Because there appears to be a conundrum in this whole thing.
That 2024 budget, I will not be thinking that possibly this is month of November. I will not be thinking that maybe we come and represent it. I want to believe that at the end of this month, event must have overtaken that one.
You think so?
In my own, I'm not a legal luminary.
All right.
But I'm not a legal illiterate at the same time, at least common sense. So I don't want to believe that of 2024 event would have overtaken it by the end of this month, and that sin could be forgiven. And anything you commit before the pronouncement of the court, I think they may have sympathy. Possibly, maybe you don't know. But now that the Court of Appeal has pronounced, I am not saying, and I will never advise the governor to go and represent the budget that possibly the last one remains just a few weeks. No. But based on that judgment, it is a signal that is not the best direction that the government should go, not until after the determination of the Supreme Court. So before the Supreme Court will rule on that matter, I think, based on the lesson learned by the governor and his handlers, I think they should wait for
the Supreme
Court before they present this one.
All right.
But if they present this one, it's like they are instructing, underrating, and demeaning the judiciary up to the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
You understand? So to me, I think they should stay. They should stay now. They should not present it until after the determination of the Supreme Court.
Okay. Now, you also made mention when you were speaking, you said that for you, in your own opinion, that you would, you're of this opinion that this 2024 budget, having almost expended its lifespan, should be, the judgment can be set aside. Yes. And but then, which brings us to another quagmire. If a court, you recall that this judgment, first of all, came in January, at the inception of the lifespan of the budget. This judgment came 22nd of January 2024. And the governor, did not obey that. And even after the appeal court upheld the judgment of the lower court, the governor still maintained his stance, even though he appealed. Now, one would wonder if the court gives judgment, or let me use this because you said the sin in this instance could have expired or overtaken by events. Let's say one commits a crime and the court gives judgment against that person. Would one say because the judgment was given in 2022 and now we are in 2023, that judgment does not ceases to take effect?
No, that's not what I'm saying, in essence.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, even if the court of High Court ruled in favor of Amehule, it would have been good for the governor to even obey or stay action. But since he appealed, and the Court of Appeal has said the same thing. So, to me, 2025 is almost here. And the budget of 2024, I believe, the budget of 2024, over 95% of it have been expended. So, to me, I believe event could overtake that one. I'm not quoting the law. I'm not
speaking from the moral standpoint.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but if that one is still in contention, if the governor now present this one to
this House of Assembly that is
I think it's an executive rascality.
All right.
And to the judiciary entirely may have reason to frown at it.
Okay. Now, you also talked about, let me build on, I want to ask you a question based on the last thing you said, when you said that this budget, the 2024 budget, 95% of it to a large extent would have been expended. And you know that recently, budgets in Nigeria right now, starting from the federal, is a full cycle budget that's going on, meaning that the lifespan starts from January and runs up to December. If I may make a case for the governor, or let me play devil's advocate while asking you this question. The governor might say that right now, Supreme Court has not given judgment. That's on one hand. And that's the matter before the Supreme Court is on the 2024 budget. However, governance has to still happen. You agree with me? And they will be of the opinion that it's a full cycle budget. And 2024 is almost done. We are wrapping up 2024. And according to the Nigerian Constitution, budget is supposed to be presented, I think 3 months to the inception of that budget, supposed to be presented to the legislative arm. So if you're looking at it right now, the governor ought to have presented this budget like a month ago. And if you're to follow the Constitution, he ought to present the budget. And he has said he has de-recognized Martin Amehule. And regardless of the court judgments going on, to all intent and purposes, from his body language and his actions, he has actually de-recognized them and is working with the Oko-Jumbo faction. And he is saying governance has to happen. So he has to present the 2025 budget to a House of Assembly that he chooses to work with. And he might premise his argument that the Supreme Court has not given final judgment with regards to the validity or the authenticity of Martin Amehule or Oko-Jumbo in this instance.
I hope the governor is not actually predicting the Supreme Court. To me, I think the highest thing the governor should do now, because of the delegate matter of this thing, I think it would have been better for his legal team to approach the Supreme Court. If possible, they can expedite action to make sure they give their ruling on time. You cannot be building any structure you build upon illegality is illegal and is bound to be demolished. Since the signal has come from the Court of Appeal, High Court, that the presentation of budget to those 4 men are illegal, and the Court of Appeal has upheld the same thing, I think projectionally, I think he should be expecting the same thing from the Supreme Court.
Why?
And even if it's not
the court of policy,
yes, even if he's not expecting such, he would have been doing a wrong thing. If somebody warned you, another person warned you against a particular thing, you wouldn't have allowed the third person to come and warn you. You would have taken a caution from there. So to me, I would have, based on the High Court and the Court of Appeal, I would have been advising the governor to take serious precaution this time and wait for the judgment of the Supreme Court before he present this.
All right, now
the 2024 to Oko-Jumbo Assembly.
But going by this whole situation right now, a lot of people have called for political.
If anybody is calling for political solution, it's a self-deception. It won't work.
Why do you say so?
Good. You've heard the former governor several times that he said he ruled it out, that there won't be any settlement again. And actually, why do you need these people to settle? The only concern that people of Rivers State and Nigeria should be having is because this thing is affecting the economy of the state, and by extension, it will affect the economy of the country. These two people, they talk, they do not talk. It's not the business of any man. And the way each of them are throwing vituperations, I don't think any of them is really looking for serious settlement.
Okay.
Yes. So and the people that are in position to even settle them, most of them are already taking sides.
All right.
So
you
whom are you going to call?
So at this point, Rivers State will have to keep our fingers crossed and wait for the outcome of this.
Let them fight themselves as individuals. So far, it will not affect.
But it's affecting, is it not?
The peace and tranquility in Rivers State.
Is it not affecting it? Is it not affecting it?
If Governor Yins or Wike decide to be in Abuja without coming to Rivers State to heat up the polity, and if this man here does not throw any unnecessary vituperation against former Governor Yins or Wike, it won't affect anything.
Now we are not even looking at the
let him continue to build the structure here, and let former Governor Yins or Wike begin to oil his political structures too. They can build their structures differently and peacefully, that it will not affect the peace of Rivers people.
Is the issue now the vituperations and the name calling, or the issue on ground which is affecting governance, which has to do with obedience to the rule of law, obedience to court judgments, adhering to the Constitution? When the matter
is already in court, why are we requesting for political settlement? Let the Supreme Court rule.